Welcome into another episode of DB's Best Bets presented by Full Time Roundup, episode 13. Episode 13. Harrison, I am Daniel Brackett, your host, and alongside me is Harrison Clark. Harrison, it was a diabolically bad weekend for both of us, but did you at least enjoy the weekend?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Happy Easter to everybody. Yeah, had a good time with the family this weekend. Always good to, spend some good time with the family. But other than that, I wouldn't say the weekend necessarily went ideally. Um, let's just say the bets didn't really hit this weekend. Not just in soccer, but in multiple sports. I mean, NC State's just pulling shit out of their ass that I can't believe. So, um, but yeah,
And UNC losing
it
as
was.
well.
I mean, yeah, we don't have
That's
to
a
get
tough
into
one.
that, but it was a nightmare of a weekend in some sense, but a good Easter. So yeah.
Yeah, I was at the beach, so got to enjoy time with family, but I was definitely hurting with how some of the teams I was pulling for, um, performed this weekend. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. Kind of unpack this pretty terrible weekend for us, bets wise. But the good news and to spin zone it. I mean, it felt like we were really close with some of these. I mean, just some really astronomically bad beats, if I'm being completely honest. And we'll go ahead and dive in with the plays we had together. And that first one was Spurs Luton over 3.5. A recurring theme is getting beat on the hook the last 2 weeks. And we had another one here. This game was absolutely drunk. There was two goal line clearances from Luton. One literally, Son has an open goal and just hits the inside of the post and it goes to the outside. And then another one where it's like a FIFA clearance where it's like 7 attempts at goal and they just cannot put the ball in the back of the net. They gave us hope late with the Son goal, but it was just a little too late. Cannot believe our Luton over did not hit here, and it was just a bad beat central. This was the one that hurt the most, probably.
Yeah, this one sucked. Thankfully, I didn't get to watch a ton of it, but I mean, I know Spurs absolutely dominated. Their expected goals in this game was three flat, and we got one from Luton. So like the Son inside the post hitting the other post was just crushing. Um, But yeah, I mean, this isn't really going to stop Luton overs in my mind. Another one that probably should have hit, and I mean, the ones that don't hit with Luton, it's not like we're way off of them. We're just getting hooked. So, yeah, tough one for both of us.
Yeah, but we move on. And another bad beat was United Brentford over 3. Uh, Brentford themselves had 30 shots. United had 11. They decide to do something late and both score a goal after the 80th minute. But I mean, we had crossbars, we had posts, we had missing of sitters. This was one of those where I can't believe we even didn't get our money back here with a push. As there was 2 goals in the game. This is another frustrating one. I think we're on the right track. We're picking the right games. It just the ball did not fall in our favor this week or this weekend, and hopefully, next week these kind of goals that we're hoping that didn't go in will go in for us, so we can get back on track to 500. Any commentary on the United Brentford game?
Uh, Kind of sickening. Also, the fact that Brentford absolutely dominated this game isn't really surprising to me because United just like on the road, uh, not scary at
They're
all.
just not scary ever, to be honest. But
In
yeah,
general, not scary. Yeah, I was looking at the stats again. 3.29 expected goals for Brentford alone. So they only get one. Of course, it was in the 99th minute or whatever it was. 31 shots total for Brentford, and only 5 on target. So a big time lack of finishing in this one. But again, similar to Luton, it's just bad luck, to be honest. I think that we were on the right side on both of them, and got didn't go our way.
Onana had that double save too. That was insane. Could not believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
maybe he's
Onana
back.
Anata killed our coin for sure. I also, had Fulham -1. You were talking about maybe taking Sheffield on the last show, and I thought you were insane, but you actually were almost right. Sheffield was winning this game 3-1. I texted you, I said, I owe you an apology. I was not familiar with your game, and then Fulham, tickled my nuts late with an absolute comeback here with 3-3 Rodrigo Muniz with an absolute beautiful bicycle kick. But it was a little too late here for Fulham to get a win here, and it's definitely points dropped for them, as this should have been an easy win for them. But Barrington Diaz was on a mission in this match for Sheffield, and he was at the heart of everything Sheffield did that was good.
I mean, yeah, part of me wishes I did almost play the Sheffield pick'em. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, I'm glad I did it because I just would have been even sicker. But yeah, I don't know. That's just another typical like Luton/Sheffield kind of game. You get your goals in and then you just implode. So I don't know. I don't really know what to take from this game other than it was kind of wild, and the fact that Fulham even got a point out of it is pretty impressive.
Absolutely. And you also had Chelsea -1.5. That
Oh
was
gosh.
that. I'm just gonna give you the floor. I
That
don't
was the
even.
worst of the year. That was the worst of the year. It's not even close. Like that was the most disappointed I've been this whole season. I watched that game from start to finish, and I was sick, so sick at what was happening. Um, Burnley get the red card, and I think
Soft
that
as hell.
it's
Soft as hell.
horrible, horrible. Yeah, we talked about the double jeopardy before. That first of all, it wasn't even a penalty in my mind, but
Not even
then he
close.
gives the second. Then he gives the second yellow, and it's yeah, that was bad. But Chelsea again, you get Burnley on the road with 10 men, and you do shit with it. So yeah, Cole Palmer's a great player. Other than that, I don't really know where to go. Benoit Badiashile looked like holy cow, he looked horrific. So I don't really know where we go from here. We'll see. We'll talk about them a little later, just because they have a big game coming up. I guess it doesn't really mean much for either team, to be honest, at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sick as a fan right now.
You, how did you feel about that Petrovic second goal? I thought he did a really bad job
Should have
with that
saved it.
save.
Should have
Yeah.
saved it.
Okay.
He
And
basically
then
dropped it in the net. Like he had both his
yeah,
hands on it, and it actually looked like this when they slow it down. It looks like he actually has a grasp of it, and then he just loses it, and it goes in. Also, God, I know this is a betting show, but
Sterling.
I'm gonna vet. I'm gonna no, no, but yeah, holy cow, that header he missed in the near stoppage time was horrible. But uh, the fact that they're on 10 men, the defending, I have no clue what was going on. Burnley had all the space in the world, and on corner kicks they weren't even marking. They're down a man. You just man up 1-on-1. Like I don't understand what they're doing. Benoit again, Batty Shields in the mud. He I don't know what the hell he's doing on the corner that ties the game 2-2. He's just wide open in the middle of the box. So yeah, I don't want to talk about them right now, but -1.5 didn't have a chance, even with a red card. So whatever.
Moneyline didn't have a chance. Couldn't believe what I was
Yeah, I
watching.
guess that's true. Did live them in a parlay. That was great.
Yeah, I had them in Spurs as well, trying to get the parlay coin back, and they really screwed me on that one. But yeah, I you were taking it well. I was like, this is just a disaster of a game, and you agreed. You took it well, though. I probably wouldn't have responded as much. I was winding up Matt like no tomorrow. He was getting really mad at
Oh,
me. But I mean, just when you lose in that fashion, it's just. I think Poch alone should be fired for that game. Just, I mean, that is
it's
just
like
$1
it's
billion.
starting to get to the it's starting to get to the point where it's like I've always been a fan of Mauricio Pochettino. Like I think he's a solid coach, and I know the team is extremely young with not a lot of experience in the Premier League, but those are games that, like, that just cannot happen. And, like, it's sickening because you have Chelsea fans, like, we've almost come to expect it now, like, which is super disheartening with a team of our history, so yeah, it's a tough time at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And you also had Manchester City money line, which didn't make things very much better. 0-0. I called out the under and a draw. Cannot believe I didn't put that on the card. That is just that hurts because I had the script for the match and I knew how this match was gonna go, especially with the under. I played it like a card bet. So I'm pretty frustrated here with myself, especially after my record. But at least I was right here. But I would even say it's a bad beat with Manchester City money line. I understood why you took it, but this game was kind of just a wash.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect Arteta to play as conservative as they did. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Uh, they almost parked the bus the entire game, which was pretty crazy. We all knew that City would dominate possession. It's what they do at home and in general, to be honest. But um, yeah, Arsenal defended extremely well, and Man City really didn't have that many great opportunities, to be honest. Um, I had the Bruyne goal or assist. I almost want to say that their best chance came on the corner almost 10 minutes in, right on the head of Nathan Ake, and he just whiffed it, and it fell straight into the hands of Raya. So, um, yeah, City, they were the better team today, but Arsenal defended their asses off. So, I guess give them credit for sneaking out a point, but it was a entertainment value wise, that game was not very exciting.
no, it was rather boring. But to move to the Bundesliga, Darmstadt Bochum, the ugliest play of the card, ended up being the only one that hit for me. So that's sick. 2-2 game. No sweat there. I had a feeling. I trust my gut, and I was rewarded with it. So I was pretty happy. But another tough another tough loss for you with Bayern Dortmund. I mean, one team showed up and one team did not show up. So that was kind of the story of the game. Harry Kane had a really tough game too. Couldn't put the ball in the back of the net and only 2 goals, and they were all Dortmund the whole time. So pretty. You had the stats to back this one up too. That's what hurts the most.
Yeah, no, and Kane definitely had his chances. He missed, boy, I think it was in the first half. He missed a wide open header, just one of those ones that it's Harry Kane. You expect him to put in the net 100 times out of 100. Did score late, was a foot offside. So that could have made it interesting with whatever it would be, 6 minutes to go plus stoppage time. So, uh, yeah, overall, Kane couldn't finish, and if Kane can't finish, then Bayern's probably not going to win the game. And Dortmund played a solid game. We're going in or on the counterattack pretty much the entire game. And you guys got guys like Adeyemi who could stretch the field. So yeah, solid game from Dortmund. Disappointing that Bayern couldn't find the back of the net because it had all the makings of another over, but it wasn't to be.
Yep, and I had Bayer Hoffenheim over 3.5, lost on the hook yet again. A little too late here for Bayer. Hoffenheim went early, which played right into my hands with an over because I knew Bayer were going to fight back and throw everything they had at the match. But they waited to the 88th minute to score their first goal and got one in stoppage time. Patrick Schick cashing your any goal scoring bet, which was a good play. I like that, and he's now scored like 3 game winners in the last month, so he's been on fire, and
Yeah.
will probably continue to ride his hot hand. But yeah, this was a tough loss. Felt like Bayer Leverkusen were going to knock on the door the entire game. It was only a matter of time. Hoffenheim alone missed a couple good chances to put the game away when they were up 1-0 as well. So frustrating week, but we'll bounce back. You cashed another Charlotte under sprinting 1-1
I
game.
was at I was with our boy Justin last night, and he's kind of new to the whole gambling world, and he just downloaded all the apps that you're supposed to download at the beginning, and he just downloaded DraftKings last night, and he was asking me for some plays. I was giving him mostly some NHL stuff, but then I said, "Oh shit, I forgot about maybe the most important one. You need to take Charlotte and Cincinnati under." And he and my boy Connor both rode that, finished 1-1, no sweat really. I mean, I guess they kind of made it weird at stoppage time, but yeah, I don't know. Charlotte unders, it's really something special this year. It really is. So we'll see when Abada gets on the field if they're able to bag some more and maybe take us off our trend. But as it stands, it's a weekly play.
We love it, love it. You also had Luis Apinda, anytime goal scorer. That was an L as Mainz continues to haunt Leipzig, like we mentioned before in the
We
show.
talked about it.
We thought they could quell the demons, and they did not quell the demons. So that's a brutal loss there. But we'll move on, and we do have some plays for this midweek game. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, starting with the games we have together. We have Chelsea versus United over 3.5. Really, all I have to say for this is when it comes to Chelsea's defending, and then you mix Ten Hag's press that just leaves gaps all over the field, especially in the midfield. I think this game is at least going to be a 2-2 game. Just two really bad defensively teams, decent attacks, big game just on paper. So I just think this will be a fun one. And I think the over will fly here at over 3.5 at plus money.
It should, with how it's been going. Chelsea can't keep a clean sheet to save their life. So, I mean, and they've found ways to score, which is disappointing because in the past that just has not been the case. It's been more of we've been unable to score, but we've been solid defensively. Would not be shocked to see Thiago Silva draw back in this one. Like I
Got
said,
to.
I don't need to say more about Badiashile. But I also have Chelsea money line.
I don't know why you're doing this to yourself.
Right after I absolutely shit on them. And again, this is just all based on the inconsistency of this team because we see them get up for semi-big games. Like you draw at City and then you tie Burnley on 10 men. So, and we saw what they did against Newcastle in a Monday night game just a week ago or whatever, or week or 2 weeks ago. So again, it's a big game. United coming to Stamford Bridge is a big game in general. So they do, for some reason, get up for these and sleep for the others. So I'm going to take Chelsea money line at almost even odds because at home, I'm expecting a big bounce back performance after what happened last week. There's just no way they don't come out with a little bit more fire than they did last week. So, and Pochettino's job is probably on the line this week. I'm not even kidding. So, yeah, I don't know. Riding them, even though I don't trust them.
Two managers that need a win, Manchester United and Chelsea, 100%. We also are both backing Arsenal here, -2.5. It's not an over against Luton, but we're both basically betting Arsenal just to absolutely drub Luton here at home at the the Emirates is the Emirates Stadium of Arsenal. Yeah, I especially after the draw to City, they have some catching up to do to catch up with Liverpool, who play Sheffield. So I think Arsenal are going to come out. They usually covered the spread pretty well at home, and their best performances are definitely at the Etihad. So I think we'll be able to get it done. Luton just I don't think have enough juice in this one to make it close.
No, unfortunately. We love our Luton boys, but this feels like they're walking into an absolute it could get ugly, to be
It
honest, in
could
this
get
one, I feel
ugly.
like.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Especially if Arsenal, they defended the whole game today. They're ready to get on the attack next week. So yeah, we're playing their spread -2.5. I think it could be 4-0, to be honest. Arsenal is my guess. So yeah, I like this play a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't want to take the over at 3.5 just because it could be a 3-0 win. So I felt safer with the Arsenal 2.5. I'm sure you did as well. I'll also be taking Liverpool Sheffield over 4. You're playing somewhat of the same. You're playing Liverpool team total over 3.5. Basically just betting maybe that Sheffield bag one. But I think, especially with how they kind of performed against Brighton, Liverpool, that is, Jurgen's not going to be happy with how they played, and they're going to come out of here off the blocks hot, and they're going to want to absolutely destroy them, since City and Arsenal are both playing, fairly winnable games.
Yeah, there's no letting off the gas for Liverpool. With now the lead that they have in the league, Klopp's going to reinforce, keeping the foot on the pedal. So I fully expect them to kill Sheffield this week. Sheffield just had a solid game with how awful they've been this season. It's probably going to be a big regression spot for Sheffield, and Liverpool, similar to Arsenal, I think could kill them this week. So, and with how bad Sheffield is at the back, I mean, I think 4 at Anfield is so reasonable, and
Very doable.
I'm getting it around even. So, yeah, I will gladly take that.
Yes, every day of the week and on Sundays. I also think a good lean here would be a Darwin Nunez goal, and maybe even a Mohamed Salah any goal time or assist if you want to get spicy. Just because he scored a goal, but he also missed a ton of chances as well. So he's going to be looking to bounce back, as he didn't play great football. I also have West Ham Spurs over 3.5. After that instant classic, West Ham just do not play a lick of defense. Spurs are going to be looking to put chances away after they spurned a ton this weekend against Luton, but they've been fairly leaky as of late as well. So I think, with Kudus and Bowen up top for West Ham, they should be able to get a goal as well. And I think this would be a fun match to take the over in at over 3.5. And I think we should be able to get there. A London
Yeah,
derby.
I agree. I mean, Spurs, they've scored goals at a high clip all year. So that's a big reason for taking a lot of Spurs overs that we do. And like you said, West Ham are not necessarily great at the back, but they do have a little bit of firepower going forward. Bowen's had an unbelievable year. Do I throw out another Mikel Antonio goal? I don't know. But I don't know. But yeah, hopefully we get to 4 this time with Spurs. I don't want to get hooked by them again.
No, absolutely. And you have Bournemouth moneyline, the Cherries. Who are they playing?
They play Crystal Palace at home. Bournemouth have had some decent form recently. I believe that's 2 or 3 wins in a row now for them. And I mean, I would never bet Palace in this spot on the road. So I feel like it's a good spot for me to take Bournemouth at, again, nearly even odds. Like, I'll take them, and I'll take Dominic Solanke to score, because we know if Bournemouth probably wins the game, he probably gets on the score sheet.
Yeah, I'd have to agree here. I also leaned that over at 2.5, but I'm going to stay away just for the card's sake. And I also have City Villa under 3.5. We kind of
And
touched on it
under.
earlier, and under, breaking my rules here. But I've been kind of actually been pretty sharp with the unders when I do take them. Villa just has City's number a little bit, and I think this is how Emery's going to set up against Pep, is going to be very cagey. So I'm going to pray that it's under 3.5 here. And I think this is a sharp play, but we'll kind of see how it plays out. I also have Bologna -1.5. They are going to be trying to catch up here with Juve, who are in absolute free fall. They play Salernitana, one of the worst teams in the entire Serie A, and 1.5 at basically even odds is a great line with Jonathan Xerxes back, Orsolini, Lewis Ferguson. I think Bologna should win this match pretty handily, and it should be like a 3-0 win, no sweat cash.
You're a big Bologna guy.
I love Bologna and Thiago Motta.
Hey,
no
ride
comment.
your boys. Ride your
Got
boys.
to,
That's all I got.
got to. But
I did have
that
Newcastle money line, but I just took it off because I just saw how many injuries they have, and
it's bad.
even though it's Everton coming into their place, I actually just want no part of that. Maybe a Harvey Barnes revenge spot, but I'd rather not put my faith in him, even though he did have a great game this past week.
He did. I would lean the over in that, just how bad Everton are defensively, but with just the Newcastle injuries, you never know what you're going to get from Eddie Howe's men. So let's go ahead and recap here. I have Chelsea United over 3.5, Bologna 1.5, West Ham Spurs over 3.5, Arsenal 2.5, Sheffield Liverpool over 4, and City Villa under 3.5. Harrison, what do you have?
Bournemouth money line, West Ham, Spurs over 3.5, Arsenal minus 2.5, Liverpool team total over 3.5, Chelsea United over 3.5, and also Chelsea money line. And Dominic Solanke to score this week.
You heard it here. This is where we get back to 500 as we both are now.
Are we parlaying?
I was thinking about it. You want to craft?
I mean, we could take a gander.
We can take a look. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, we could just see if there's anything that,
I'm thinking Bologna money line.
Gets us a little aroused.
Thinking Bologna money line. Inter money line against Empoli.
And that's just going to be another minus 700.
Hold
on, let me chef. Unlike
what's Arsenal? What's Arsenal money line?
Arsenal money line minus 850.
Oh, yikes! Okay, hear me out. Atletico Madrid Villarreal over 2.5. It's like minus 160. That could be a parlay piece. How do you feel about that?
Oh, really? Atletico over scare me. Just because you never know what you're gonna get, but hey, I do love Memphis Depay.
See, Atletico they're fourth in goals scored per match, and they also haven't kept a clean sheet in 7. That's why I was.
Okay. But they also good stats.
So over 2.5 in that game. Bologna, Inter, Arsenal, Liverpool. Do we want to do that, or do we want to back City against Villa?
I think we back City. That's a must-win spot for them.
Okay, let's throw City in there. And what team would you like to kick out? Arsenal, Liverpool, or Inter?
So let's see. Let me put Arsenal in there. Let me put City in there. So right now we have Villarreal, Atletico over, Inter, Arsenal, and Man City.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? That's plus 157.
If you throw Liverpool in there, we might get to plus 175 territory, 200 potentially.
Liverpool. Minus
we could do Liverpool minus 1.5. Bought down spread.
Let me check on that.
Why don't we do Arsenal?
That's also free.
Why don't we do Arsenal minus 1.5 spread? And Liverpool minus. We can get cheeky here.
I don't mind getting a little cheeky. Okay, so now it's over 2.5 in Atletico, Inter moneyline, Man City moneyline, Liverpool minus 1.5, Arsenal minus 1.5, and we have odds of plus 319.
There we go. That's it.
God, that's a heady play from you.
That is the magic. We had to get creative with all these big money lines, so we'll see who ruins it. But so Arsenal minus 1.5, and then City. All right. So just to recap one more time for the parlay: Bologna money line, Inter money line, Atletico Villarreal over 2.5, Liverpool minus 1.5, Arsenal minus 1.5, Manchester City money line. You heard it here, folks. If you're still tuning into this video, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. We will be back on Thursday. If you like the full-time roundup show, go ahead and listen to me and Matt's show that we're dropping right now on Spotify. Go ahead and give us a 5-star review and download the video. I will also have XI of the week, or team of the week, out on Tuesday night. So check that out and follow us on TikTok at Full-Time Roundup, where we release our shorts. Harrison, thank you so much for being with me for another episode. This 13 episodes in, it's been a blast, and let's get back to 500.
Yeah, we need a big week here.
Big week.